Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Neller, and today I'm going to walk you through your next Google Sheet project for Chapter 2 in Business Math. And this project is going to have you designing a spreadsheet that's going to allow you to compare two different jobs and see what the benefits are. Okay? So our first few steps here are going to be the same as what we did in our last Google Sheet project. We're going to go to Google and we're going to open a blank spreadsheet. Okay, so if we go to Google, make sure that you're logged into your school account, and then on the 9 dots with the little waffle, click on that and then find Google Drive. It looks like the little triangle. And then this should be the drive for your school account. And then you can go to New and Google Sheet, and a blank Google Sheet will open for you. Okay. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to title our spreadsheet. So just click on the box that says Untitled Spreadsheet. And on the direction sheet, it says that we're going to title this one Job Benefits Spreadsheet. And put a little dash and then put your name. Putting your name will just help me keep track of who is submitting them. Then you can hit Enter. Now on the direction sheet, it has a chart with all the different information for the two offers. So we've got the salary information, we've got the benefits, and then we've got the expenses. So this is very similar to some of the material that we were working with in section 2.4. So we're going to find the yearly salary, and that says that down here as well. We're going to find the annual gross pay, and then we also have to find the total job benefits. So we're going to take up all these benefits and we're going to add them up, and we'll have another little row for total job benefits. Then we're going to type in these expenses, and then we'll have another row for total job expenses. And then at the very end, we will take the annual gross pay plus all the job benefits minus all the expenses, and we'll get our job benefits. So the work that we're going to be doing here in this spreadsheet isn't very challenging. The programming that we're going to be doing, we're going to be using subtraction and multiplication. And then instead of just adding stuff, I'm going to show you how we can use the sum function. Okay. And when we're finding the yearly salary, the annual salary, we're going to assume that the job is for 40 hours a week and 52 weeks in a year. So that's the standard by which a basic job is going to be offered for most of our material. Okay. So we have to start by putting this column in this little picture into our first column in our Google Sheet. Okay. So if we're typing some stuff in, I'm going to take just a moment here and I'm going to adjust the width of our columns, because sometimes when we type in words, they are smaller than, or the column is smaller than the words. So remember, you can adjust the width just by clicking on the little line in between the columns and dragging that out as far as you would like. Okay, we're going to go from A to G. So we're going to have those 6 or 7 columns there that we're going to be using. And we're not going to start in cell A1. We're going to start in cell A2. And that's where we're going to have our salary information. Okay, so just type in salary information, and then you can click on the box and make it bold, because that'll be our heading. And then next we'll type in our hourly rate. So just hit enter after that. And then we're going to enter our annual gross pay. Okay, and then we're going to leave a cell empty. So you can just hit enter and it'll go down to A6. Now A6 is going to be our annual benefit. And that was our heading. So I'm going to make that bold. And then our benefits were health insurance and life insurance. Again, I'm just getting this off of the picture that was in the directions. Okay, salary and hourly, and then we added in the annual gross pay. We added in that. Now I'm typing in the annual benefit, so that's my next heading. Then I'm going to type in all of these headings, okay? And then we'll put total job benefits at the end, okay? So that's all I'm doing here. I'm just typing in that information. So we have life insurance. Next is our health club membership. And you can see that sometimes if you've typed in other phrases like health insurance, when you start typing health, Google tries to help you and it pops up health insurance, but just keep typing and put in club membership. And we have our pension. You can just type and hit enter. We've got free parking. And then total job benefits is what we're going to add in. Make sure you're spelling correctly, okay? And then we're just going to go with another empty row, and so we're going to go down to A14. A14 is going to be my next heading. This is expenses. Expenses information. So since that's my heading, I'll make that bold. And then we have commuting costs. Oops. And then we have dues, tools, and uniforms. And then we also have, let me scroll down a little bit here so you can see, total job expenses. And then I'm going to leave another blank row, and at the very, very bottom, we'll have our net job benefits. So since that's what we're trying to find, I'm going to make that bold. That's like our very final column there. Okay. So you can see all of the information typed in there. Might have to scroll a little bit on your end as well. Okay. So now we're going to type in our two offers. So we have offer number 1 and offer number 2. And we'll put this information in. As we get to the pension, we're going to adjust that just a little bit. Okay. So I'll show you how we can calculate that. So let me label our columns here. For B1, we'll have offer number 1. And then for C1, we'll have offer number 2. And I'm going to make those bold because those are my headings. We'll have our other offers for D, E, F, and G. So we'll type those in a bit. Now for offer number 1, they told me our hourly rate was $11.25. So just click on cell B3, type that in, and hit enter. And then to figure out our gross pay, we'll have to take that amount and we'll have to multiply it by 40 hours and multiply it by 52 weeks. So in your cell B4, you're going to click on it and type equals, because now we're going to program the sheet to do the math for us. So we want to take whatever was in that previous cell, so just click on B3, and then we want to multiply, so do Shift 8, so you get the little star. We're going to multiply by 40, and then we're going to multiply again by 52, because it's 42 hours in a week and 52 weeks in a year. Then when you hit enter, it'll auto-fill that number for you. Okay. Now I'm just going to go look at this picture, and I'm going to fill in the information that they give me. For these little dashes, I'm going to put in a 0. That means there's no amount given. Okay. So for the health insurance, that was $2,500. $250 for the life insurance. There was no health club membership. The pension, we'll come back to that in a moment. We'll figure that out. Let's see, the free parking was $650. And the total job benefits, we'll figure that out in a moment as well. So the commuting costs, we can fill that in. That was $777. The dues were $98. Tools, there weren't any for this job offer. And the uniforms, there weren't any there. So we'll leave the job expenses and the net job benefits. We'll leave those for now. Okay. So I'm going to go back up to the pension and I'm going to calculate this. Okay. For this offer, we want the pension to be 8% of the salary. Okay. So on cell B10, and you can see that the B is gray and the 10 is gray when you've clicked on it. So that's an easy way to identify what cell and what row you're in, what row and what column. Okay, so B10 right here for the pension, I'm going to hit equals. And then I want it to be 8%. So we're going to type in 0.08 times, and then I want it to be 8% of my gross pay. My gross pay is up here in B4, so I'm going to click on that cell, and then I'm going to hit enter, and it will autofill that pension for me. Okay. Next, I can calculate my total job benefits because all of the benefits are filled in now. So I'm going to calculate in the total. This is where I'm going to use the sum. So click on B12, click on that cell, hit equals, and then we're going to type in sum, S-U-M, and then you have to do parentheses. Notice that Google pops up a little box that's trying to help you, okay? So just ignore that. Okay, type in the parentheses. Now, you can't click on the cell for some reason. Here we have to type it in. So I want to add everything from B7, so I'm going to type capital B and then 7. So it highlights the cell for me, so it knows that that's the cell I want to start with, okay? And in computing language, when you want to go from one number to another, you have to not use like a little dash, you have to use a colon. So you're going to do shift and then the little colon. And then we want to go all the way down to the free parking one. So that was B11. So then we're going to type in capital B11. Okay. And then you can notice that Google puts like a little dashed box, a little yellow dashed box around all the stuff you're adding up. And that's what we want. We want to add up everything in that column, in column B, from B7 to B11. So it is going around the right boxes. And then we have to close our parentheses and hit enter. Okay. There's our total job benefits. Now we're going to do that again when we're doing our expenses. Okay, so all my expenses are in here. So I'm going to go down to B19. Again, I'm going to hit equals, type in sum, and parentheses. And this time I want to go from B15. So I'm going to type in B15. And again, it puts the little yellow box around that cell. And then your colon. And we want to go all the way down to B18. So capital B18. And again, it puts the yellow box around everything that you're summing. Close your parentheses and hit enter, and it will autofill the number for you. Okay? And then to get our net benefits, we're just going to add and subtract. So in here, we want to hit equals for cell B21. We're going to hit equals. Now this time I can click on the cell that I want. So I'm going to do my gross pay, and then I'm going to add my benefits. If I scroll down, I'm going to subtract my expenses. So as you can see, as I click on the cell, it types it in there. It'll do that for the addition and subtraction. For some reason, it wouldn't do it for the summing. So that's just two different strategies. You can type it in or you can click on the cell. Okay. So there we have our total for our first job. Okay. Okay, so now we'll go to offer number 2, and we will fill in the information from this picture. Okay, and since we already have the formulas calculated in, we'll be able to use that to help us when we're putting in the extra information, like the annual gross pay, the total job benefits, the pension. So since we have the sheet already partially programmed, we can use a little bit of a shortcut to help us with offer number 2 now. Okay. So I'm just going to go to offer number 2, and I'm going to type in the hourly rate. So that's going to be $12.05. So type that in, hit enter. Now for my gross pay, I already have it calculated in cell B4. So to find C4, I'm going to click on B4 and click on this little blue square, and I'm just going to drag this box over, and boom, Google automatically did the calculation for me. Okay. Now I have to type in the health insurance information. So here's our values here that I'm going to be typing in, and I'll be able to calculate the pension like we did before. That one we'll have to type in because that was a different percentage. Okay. So for my health insurance, there was no health insurance. The life insurance was $325. The health club membership was $550. The pension we'll come back to in a moment. The free parking, there was no free parking, okay? Now the total, we could do the total now, okay? But let's go back and do the pension first. Now this pension here was 8% of B4. That was our total, our annual gross pay. So here in C11, I'm sorry, C10, I'm going to type in equals, and I don't want it to be 8%, I want it to be 6%. So 0.06 times, or the little star, our annual gross pay. So I'm going to click on C4, and I'm going to hit enter. Okay, there we go. Now we get some dollars and some cents. So this offer is going to have change in it as well. So now that I have my total, now I can click this over. Oops, I clicked too far. We don't want to go that far. Nice thing is you can just undo it. Okay, so here I'm going to click and drag over. There we go. There's my total. Okay, then I'm going to type in my expenses. And again, I'm just getting that information here. Whoa, we've got a lot of expenses for this job. Every single one is filled. Okay, so we're going to type in the 955, the 150. We're going to type in the 380, the 425. And then to find our total expenses, again, we'll click on the B19 box, get that blue rectangle, click on the square, drag it over. There's our total. Okay. Same thing for the net job benefits. I've already calculated it, so I'm just going to drag it over. Oh, so the second job doesn't make as much money, probably because we have a lot more expenses. The expenses went way up. Okay. So now, if you're reading in the directions, we're going to make some changes. Okay. We've got offer number 3 and offer number 4. Okay. And then we also have 5 and 6. So offer number 3 is just going to be like offer number 1, except we're going to change the pension to a different percentage. Okay. So all we have to do is basically copy and paste, and then we'll change that cell that we want to change, and Google will do all the math for us then. Okay. So let's go up to D1, and let's call this offer number 3. And you can make that bold because it's our heading. Now it's going to be the same as job offer number 1. So I'm going to go to B3, and I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to drag down all the way to the net job benefits at the bottom. And I'm going to copy this and paste it. Okay. Now there's a lot of different ways that you can copy and paste. You can right click and do copy. And then you can go over to D3. You could also go to edit, and you could copy or paste from there. Or you can do the controls on the keyboard. You can do Control C for copy and Control V for paste. So there's a lot of different ways, and I explain those in the directions here as well. Okay, how you can copy and paste. Okay, so now it should be the same information from offer 1, except we want to change the pension. Okay, so I'm going to double click on my little pension box here, and instead of that being 0.8, I want it to be 0.07. And then I'm going to hit enter. So it changed my number here for my total job benefits, and then it changed my number at the bottom for the net job benefits. So both of those numbers should be changed. Okay, so now it's a little bit less from offer number 1. So similar, but it's a couple $100 less. So that could be something we could consider. Okay, so next we have another job offer, offer number 4. It's going to be the same as job number 1, except that you're going to change your hourly rate. Okay, so again, we're going to go to E1. We're going to type in offer number 4. You can make that bold because it's our heading. We're going to go back to B3. We're going to highlight everything down to B21, and we're going to copy it. So again, you can edit, copy, and then go to E3, and then you could paste. So you could do edit, paste. You could do right click, paste. You could do Control V. There's lots of different options. And then I just like to click off of it in another cell somewhere that gets rid of the blue highlights. and the little blinking dashed lines. So now in offer number 4, we're going to change the pay. We're going to change it to $12.50 an hour. So I'm just going to double click on this cell, and now you can see there's a little blinky mouse there, a little cursor. So you can highlight the whole thing and just type in $12.50, or you can like backspace and delete it. Okay. Now once you hit enter, Google takes away the 0. So don't worry about that. That's just programming. They don't like extra zeros at the end if we don't need them. Okay. But you can see that the annual gross pay has changed, and then the benefits have changed. Okay, the expenses haven't, but the net job benefits, those have changed now as well too. Okay. Okay, so now we have job 4, and this is the best offer so far. That's looking pretty good. Okay, and that makes sense. We should be making more money overall if we're making more per hour. Okay. So we've got 2 offers left to go. We've got offer number 5 and offer number 6. Now these are very, very similar, okay? We're going to take offer number 1, and we're going to eliminate the life insurance. And then we're also going to take offer number 2 and eliminate the life insurance. And we're going to compare those, okay? So I'm going to type in offer number 5. And we could type in offer number 6 now too. We could make them both bold because those are our headings. Okay, now offer number 5 is going to be the same as offer 1. So again, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to copy. I'm going to use my keyboards now, my keyboard control. So I'll do Control C. Notice that it gets that blinky blue line around it. And then I'm going to do Control V in cell F3. I click on that and then I hit Control V. And it's blue, so we know it highlighted and pasted okay. And then I just click off of it somewhere and it makes the blue go away. Okay. And then I'm going to take out my life insurance. So I'm going to go to F8 and I'm going to double click on that. And I can either backspace or highlight, and I'm just going to type in 0. Now, once I hit enter, the total job benefit number went down. And now the total job benefit is different from offer number 1 as well. It's less. So offer number 2 is still the best one so far, okay? Now to get our final offer, we're gonna go to job number 2, offer number 2, and we're gonna take out the life insurance right here. Offer number 2 and take out the life insurance. So this time, careful now, we've been going back to offer number 1 and highlighting. Now we're gonna go to column C. So I'm gonna click on C3 and highlight down, drag it down, and then Control C, or you can do edit, or you can right click. And then we're going to go to G3 and we're going to do Control V, or you're going to right click and paste, or do edit and paste. And then we're going to take the life insurance and we're going to enter a 0. Okay. And again, this number now should be different than the C12, which it is. And our total number here at the bottom for the net job benefits, that should be different than C21, and it is. Okay. So those are the 6 different offers that we have for this activity. And the last thing we need to do then is we need to just see which one has the greatest net job benefits. Okay. So we were looking at offer number 4 here. It's still the winner. It's 30,000. The rest are all 25s and 27s. So just make that bold to show me that you looked at that and you found that that is the biggest one. Okay. And then the nice thing about Google is that it saves all of your information for you. So this is automatically saved in Google. And the last thing you'll need to do is you'll need to go to Canvas and you'll need to upload your sheet. Okay. So go to the assignment in Canvas, and when you're uploading your file, just select it from your Google Drive. So select the sheet from your Google Drive. And as long as your sheet looks similar to mine, you should get an easy 20 out of 20 points. We'll go over this in class as well. I'll have a live Google Meet where we'll walk through the entire thing. If you follow along and complete it during class, it should be a slam dunk. You should just be able to submit it right at the end of class and it should be done for you. Okay? So obviously, this can be a little tricky, and if you're not in class and you have questions about this, you can let me know at any time.